What are the top 8 things that bikers do that cagers will not understand? Today we're going to talk about the top 8 things that bikers do that cagers probably just don't understand. I wouldn't necessarily consider them normal drivers or refer to them as normal people, so we'll just talk about people who drive cars only. I have intentionally only put 8 things on this list because I want to hear your comments down below of what you think is important to add to our list. Okay, number 1 on the list is that bikers ride for a cause. People do a lot of different things for causes, so I'm not saying that people who just drive don't do things for causes, but you know, when bikers go on a ride for a cause, it is, to me, a pretty grand thing. We ride for causes for different things. People who are sick, people who've been hurt, to support different causes, veterans, military, lots of different things that we end up riding for that are important to us. The other day I rode in sub-freezing temperatures to ride in a funeral for a good friend and brother of mine, and it was well worth the little bit of cold that we endured to give him a good send-off. But you know, people think you're crazy riding in 20-degree weather because they just don't understand. And what a lot of people don't understand who drive cars is when we pay to go on a ride to support a cause, we're paying money to be able to do that, to support that cause, because realistically you can ride on the road for free. You know, it just doesn't make sense to some people, but for us it's an opportunity to ride, to have some camaraderie, fellowship with other riders, and to support whatever that cause is. So one of those things I know that cagers get really pissed off about is when we go on these big rides and we have a big group of people, especially if it's like a police escorted ride or traffic is blocked. Traffic is always an issue and people get mad, but it's for a good cause. So when you see a giant group of bikes riding somewhere and traffic is being blocked, it is to support something. So chill out, shut up. We just need people in cars to understand that what we're doing is super important to somebody's family, somebody directly, or to a cause. So just relax, man. Just wait, wave, enjoy it. You know, a lot of people I see take videos because sometimes you just don't see that many motorcycles together. So just get over it. Nothing you can do about it anyways, because I guarantee if you try to cut into the group, probably be a really bad idea. Number 2 on the list is bikers are more hyper vigilant with traffic and traffic awareness. And a big thing with that is following distance. A lot of people may not understand why motorcycles staying back from a car, you know, going down the road, or, you know, coming up to a stop sign or a stoplight. And part of that is with the stopping distance of the motorcycle. It is definitely much easier to make a hard or emergency stop in a car than it is on a motorcycle. A motorcycle leans, it does not have 4 wheels, so depending on what's going on at the time, it may be more difficult or dangerous for us to stop hard. That is why we have a safer following distance. You know, I'm more vigilant, especially after being in a motorcycle accident. I'm more vigilant, you know, like I'm going down the road today, watching cars come up at side streets. I always make sure I pay attention to their front wheel to watch for any type of movement. I try to look at the driver and see if they're paying attention. You know, being on the road, you check your mirrors often. You definitely, you know, are more aware of traffic when you're on the highway and where people are, because things happen much faster. So cagers won't understand why we're creating a gap. You know, there's a space there. It is intentionally done for our safety. So know that and understand that and kind of give us a break. Number 3 on the list, super important to me because I'm short, is we actually consider where we're going to park. You know, a lot of people will go to a store or a restaurant and they'll just wheel into a parking spot like it's no big deal, and really it isn't when you're in a car. I know when I take a car, you know, my parking considerations are different than when I'm definitely on the motorcycle. You know, being short, I make sure that I park with the grade of the pavement, whether you're on an upslope or a downslope, depends on which way you park the motorcycle, because you certainly don't want to try to back the motorcycle up a hill. It is very difficult. You know, a lot of times I will try to park on a consistently flat surface, and certainly in the summertime in the great city of Georgia, when it is hot as balls out, I definitely try to find some shade to park under, even if it means I have to walk a little further. Not a big deal, but it keeps the bike cooler and keeps my seat cooler, because any biker knows if you park your bike out in the direct sunlight, what happens when you sit back on that seat. Definitely something people who drive cars will not understand. So for cagers, when you're in a parking lot and you're watching a motorcycle kind of move around slowly and deciding where they're going to go, cut them some slack, man. Trying to figure out where the best place to park is. And you know, you always want to park in a spot where your motorcycle's not going to get damaged and hit. People spend a lot of money on their motorcycles, which is a whole subcategory of people who driving cars will not understand, and we'll talk about that in a future video. But you want to keep your stuff nice, man. You pay for it, you take care of it, you ride it, you have pride in your ride. So it is important that we park where our stuff is not going to get damaged, because all you little cager people don't care where you park and you just throw your doors open. Definitely don't want to get a ding or a scratch on a motorcycle. Number 4 on the list of things bikers do that cagers will not understand, super important one, and that is slowing in the rain. All you little cager people have to remember that you have a nice car around you, and you have a windshield and windshield wipers, and it pushes all the water away. You have 4 wheels in contact with the road. Yeah, we don't have that when we're riding a motorcycle, and it's our choice to ride. People ride in the rain. You know the old saying, if you don't ride in the rain, you don't ride. Sometimes you get caught in the rain. It is what it is. But it's important for people to realize we slow down in the rain on purpose. Sometimes, depending on the rain, it just is a visibility issue. I mean, it could be raining something fierce, and I've been in a couple of those really obnoxious rainstorms where you can't see anything. So some of it is visibility, but cagers also have to comprehend that we just talked about braking and following distance and vigilance in traffic. That situation becomes a little more hyperactive in the rain, simply because you have a smaller wheel in contact with the ground, and a motorcycle leans. So, you know, if you have water in between the tire and the road, making that surface slippery, and we have to do something evasive, or just the natural, you know, progression of leaning a motorcycle, makes our situation significantly more unstable. So slowing down in the rain is something that we do to be safe. It's not because we're chicken. It's not because it's raining and we're getting wet. It has nothing to do with that, man. It's just simply being more hyper vigilant in what is going on and keeping us safe. Number 5 on the list, we've kind of talked about it, 2 different things, but we're going to talk about it as a separate part on the list, is braking considerations. So, talked about following distance a minute ago. You know, it's much more difficult to stop on a motorcycle, and I strongly urge you, if you are a rider, to practice emergency stopping, especially at the start of a ride season. If you haven't been riding for a little while because it's been cold or, you know, snowy or whatever. When I lived in Michigan, when I first would start riding in the ride season, I would do a few rides to reacclimate myself to riding, because it had been a little bit, you know, you got to knock the rust off, so to speak. So, you know, get out there and ride and practice your hard braking conditions. Braking in a curve, you know, slowing down and braking when you're leaning. All of those are dynamic situations that we face on the road. So with braking considerations, one of the awesome things is with Harley's new technology of the RDRS system, you have corner enhanced ABS brakes that are linked. So braking technology has come a long way, but you have to consider braking. That's why, like, if I'm braking and slowing down, you know, I'm watching in front of me. One of the things that I'm really aware of is if there's anybody behind me, if I'm stopping hard. Now, obviously, in a super emergency situation, that becomes very difficult, but I know, for example, if this truck that is in front of me right now starts to slow down, I'm aware, you know, I get on my controls, ready to stop, and I look behind me to see how close somebody is following me. Cagers will never understand. They get right up on your ass, and if you have to stop, sometimes it ends up bad. And that is super annoying when people are tailgating you to begin with. When they tailgate in a motorcycle, whole other level of frustration. So, all you people that are in cages, pay attention to when you have a motorcycle in front of you. Give them a little extra distance and be kind, because they want to stay safe. If you rear end somebody, you are automatically 1,000,000% at fault in most states because you were not keeping your vehicle under control. Not to mention the fact that you were being douchebag. Hey, number 6 on the list. A lot of people ask that never understand, and it's kind of funny because I understand. Just find it odd that people ask, but people are like, why do you motorcyclists or bikers do that little wave with your fingers on the side? Well, there are plenty of schools of thought on that, but generally it's acknowledging another rider, because there are far less riders out there than there are drivers. So we're just saying, hey, peace, keep the rubber side down, use 2 fingers because you're on 2 wheels, keep your 2 wheels down. Like I said, a lot of explanations, but really you're just sharing a good word with a fellow rider who's out and wanting them to stay safe. The bike wave has been around for a super long time, and it's just something that riders do. People in cars don't understand. I've never seen a Honda Civic wave. I mean, shit, there may be one. I don't know. I don't own a Honda Civic, so I don't know if you guys have some kind of like little wave or gang sign that y'all give each other when you pass, but it's just a thing with bikers. It's going to continue to be a thing with bikers, and now you have an understanding of why. Number 7 on the list is one of my favorite things people who don't understand to ask. Why do you guys all have loud exhaust? Because we want to, because it sounds awesome, because it sounds badass. That's the way a Harley's supposed to sound. You know, a lot of it is an aesthetic. You know, people want a Harley to sound like a Harley. People want their bike to sound a certain way. And obviously exhaust manufacturers have answered that call, because there are a ton of exhaust manufacturers that are out there. But really, the big reason is it's a safety issue. You know, the old saying is loud pipes save lives. I don't necessarily say it would save lives. However, it does keep us more safe. If you have a loud motorcycle, people are more likely to hear you long before they will see you, and that is an advantage to keeping us safe on the road. You know, a lot of people have neighbors complain about people letting their motorcycles run, and man, it just is what it is. You let your lawnmower run when you're mowing your lawn, or you cut your, you know, weeds or your trees, your chainsaw's running, and you got your weed whacker running. Everything makes noise, man. I don't know why people got to get so cranky about motorcycle exhaust. I mean, yeah, it's loud, but I gotta laugh with loud motorcycle exhaust. The fact that Cobra actually has an exhaust called Neighbor Haters, which is freaking awesome. That they would make an exhaust and call it that. I do find it funny and entertaining, and I know not everybody likes a loud exhaust. I mean, you know, most metric riders have a stock exhaust, or you have a limited exhaust for metric bikes as a general rule. Definitely not as many out there as there are for Harley Davidson, but you know, some people don't like a loud motorcycle, and that's fine. I don't have any problem with that. I'm gonna bust your balls because it's fun, and that's what bikers do, is have fun with one another. But I do have to laugh when I hear people say that they want to be really considerate of their neighbors and how loud their exhaust is. Yeah, I'm cool with you know, being nice to my neighbors and stuff, but damn, I'm not gonna let it affect me and what I want to do and what I'm riding. Just not how I run my life and how it works. You don't like my loud exhaust, plug your ears. All right, number 8, closing out our top 8 things that bikers do that cagers will never understand. And I get asked this a lot, and I think it's kind of funny, is why bikers always wear leather. And that is a very simple response. Leather is very protective. Back in the 30s and 40s, when people started riding motorcycles and they came back from World War II, and motorcycles, you know, became like a big thing, and motorcycle fashion became a thing. Believe it or not, motorcycle fashion is a thing. Alarming thing for most normal people out there who don't understand. But motorcycle fashion became a thing, and a lot of people who started riding motorcycles started wearing horse riding boots. It's because they were made of a really strong, thick leather, and they went higher up on the leg, which protected them from the hot parts of the motorcycle. And leather jackets became a thing because they're protective. And of course, a lot of people wear leather vests. You know, leather vests are great because it provides you some extra protection for your chest and back, which are very big areas of your body. If you end up having a road rash, those are 2 areas that are pretty important to the integrity of your body and your skin and your immune system, and a lot of bad things happen. We'll save all that medical stuff for another time. But it will protect you from road rash. You know, nowadays we have all sorts of different things, textile riding jackets. You know, the market is kind of wide open with different materials that are lighter and flexible, but most bikers will prefer leather. I prefer leather. Yes, I know. Damn, that was a big bump. Yes, I know I'm not wearing leather right now because I have heated gear on because it is cold. However, I do prefer leather. Leather is awesome. It smells great. It's silky, it's smooth, it's buttery, and looks awesome. I had a conversation with a civilian about the whole why dirty bikers wear leather and we're all dirty. And I'm like, well, you do know people do get dirty because you're exposed to the road elements, and that road dirt comes up, and you know, that's kind of why. You know, if you look at like history of long ago, bikers would wear leather to be protective, and that leather becomes worn or distressed or weathered from riding. It's just a natural part of what ends up happening, and a lot of people think that it looks dirty. Yeah, well, it is protective, and that's why bikers wear leather. Guys, that will do it for today's video. Our top 8 list on things bikers do that cagers won't understand. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I did make the list a short list on purpose because I could probably come up with like 100 things, but I didn't want to. I want to hear your comments. I want to have some fun with you guys and hear what you have to say, and adding things to the list. That's half the fun of what I do on this channel, and I enjoy it. So make Chef happy. Put a comment down below, share your thoughts. Maybe we'll make another video and share your comments and what you think are some of the most important things that we do that cagers don't do, and we'll have some more fun with it. I want to take a second to thank everybody who supported the channel. The channel is growing, and man, I appreciate you. If you like the content, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. And don't forget, have fun while you're out riding. Be safe, and thank those that allow us to be out riding free. Until next time, guys, we will catch you later.